Welcome to week 6 of your ukulele lessons. Today we're going to be looking at a song called Sounds Irish, which is a traditional style Ceilidh tune. So the first thing that we're going to look at is our chord, the D minor. So that's a new chord that we're looking at today. And the quickest way to get started with the D minor is I want you to try and play an F. And then all you're doing is adding your third finger on the second fret of your third string. Like that, and that's a D minor chord. Now for the rhythm part of this song, there are two parts. There are one where you're strumming the chords in a shuffle rhythm. That's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now a shuffle rhythm is where you've shifted the offbeat closer to the next beat. So the quickest way to sort of get the idea of a shuffle in your head is the phrase Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty. And where those syllables land, that's the shuffle rhythm there. So let's try saying Humpty Dumpty while playing our D minor in a shuffle. And that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty. So that will be our rhythm for our song. Anyway, so let's take a look at the rhythm fingerpicking part. So for that you're going to need your D minor chord, your A minor, the C, and then the sequence is D minor, A minor, C, A minor, D minor, A minor, C, D minor. But of course we'll go through that together and the chords will be on screen for you to follow. Right, so the fingerpicking part is in the shuffle feel as well. What you're going to be doing is you're using your thumb, your index finger and your middle to play it. Now the tabs are on screen. We're going to do this line by line. Now rather than reading the tabs as fret 2, fret 2, fret 1, I want you just to think you're playing D minor and the only thing that you're really focusing on is your right hand pattern. So the first pattern you're playing string 4, 3, 4, 3 and 2 and then back to 3 and in the shuffle feel. So let's try that together with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... There we go, and that's the pattern for every single chord. The only time you change what your right hand is doing is when you're playing the C chord. Instead of starting on the 4th string, you're starting on the 3rd. That'll sound like this. So C. So your right hand's doing the same thing, but you're playing 3, 2, 1, 2. Let's quickly try that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... There we go. Alright, so let's try the sequence together, the whole thing. So we're starting on the D minor and we play through 8 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that's the whole thing. And what you do is you repeat that, so that whole phrase repeats. So really the thing to remember is the first time round, the first 4 bars you're playing D minor, A minor, C, A minor. And the second time round, instead of the A minor at the end, you're playing the D minor. And that's part of a Ceilidh turnaround. Okay, so that's the rhythm part. That's so ukulele 2. Now let's have a look at ukulele 1. Right, so instead of learning things in the format of licks, today we're just going to look at lines. So each line is 4 bars long and we'll be working through the piece that way. There are 2 sections, there's the A and there's the B section. You repeat the A section once and then play through the B section once. And then you go back to play the A section, but you only play that without the repeat, so you play only 8 bars. So anyway, let's work through line number 1. So for this, same sort of idea as the fingerpicking part for ukulele 2, you're going to be playing with your thumb, your index, and your middle. Now, what feels comfortable for you, whether you're alternating, not using your thumb at all, it's or even using a pick, that's absolutely fine. The idea is to have every note really accurate and in time, and that's what keeps a song like this really moving. Anyway, so let's look at the first line, starting with your second finger. Make sure you're using the correct finger on the correct fret. Anyway, so let's play through this line nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So what you've got at the end of that line, you've got a little hammer on. So if you look at bar number 4, you'll see you're playing the open third, and then repeating that note, the open third, but then it's tied to the second fret. And what you do then is that's a hammer on there. So what you're doing is you're playing the open string, and then you're quickly adding your finger on the second fret. And if you do that quick enough, it will still ring out. So let's try the top line again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that's the first 4 bars. So this is sort of setting the main theme for the song. The next will be a sort of response to that, where the turnaround is a little bit earlier. Let's have a look at that. So the first 2 bars are almost identical to the first 2 bars of the first line, except on the last beat there you've got a open first string, and then you're playing the turnaround, but with the hammer on. We'll play through that now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So you can see there in the last bar you've got 2 dotted quarter notes. They last for the whole bar because the song is in 6/8. So when you see those 2 notes tied together, you're just adding the 2 values of the notes together. You're not actually playing the note twice. And of course you can see in the third bar of that line, you've also got the hammer-on phrase again. Anyway, let's try that all together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Right, so that was the first 2 lines. This is section A. That's all it is, and all you have to do is repeat that once for the arrangement of the song. So let's try adding lines 1 and 2 and playing that together to play all of section A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Great, so that's all of section A. Now if we take a quick look at section B, this you're only playing 8 bars and then you're going back to section A. So let's just take a look at line number 3, which is the beginning of section B. Right, so you're starting on the first fret with your first finger for this line, and you've got, instead of a hammer on now, the 2 notes that you see in the first bar that are tied together, the first fret and the open string, you're playing a pull-off. Now for that, you're fretting the first fret, and then you're using your left hand, you're just pulling off the note, and then you can hear 2 distinct different notes, and that's sort of the opposite of a hammer-on, and that's how you get a quick change for that. So let's play just through the first 2 bars of this. So you're starting on the first fret with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So you've got that rhythm. Da, 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 da. It's really important to try and match that pull off with that rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Great. Alright, so why don't we try and play the whole line there. So using the phrase that we've just played, and then we're carrying on to the next couple of lines there, the next couple of bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... You can see at the end of the bar there you've got the hammer-on phrase again. Let's try that again together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... There we you go. Now the next line, so this is the last line, and it's the end of section B. You are starting almost with the same phrase, except now you're starting on the 2nd fret and then going up to the 1st fret on the 2nd string. So let's try for this part just the first 2 bars of this line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and great. And you can see that's leading into the next 2 bars there. So let's try the whole last line there together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're finishing with those 2 tied dotted quarter notes. Great, so that's all of section B. So the arrangement is you play section A twice because you've got the repeat, and then you play section B once, and then you return back to section A and you play through that once. Then you take that whole arrangement and then repeat it, and then you repeat section A, so on and so forth. And this will all be part of the backing track which you'll receive to play through the song. Anyway, take your time with practicing this tune. It is difficult, it's a bit more jumpy, and the rhythm is really important, and getting the hammer-ons and pull-offs sounding really strong and rhythmical takes some time. But anyway, let's have one playthrough of the whole arrangement of just 2 A sections, 1 B, and then 1 A. And we'll try that quite slow, and then I'll try and put it up to tempo for you. So, let's do that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. Great, well done. Alright, so let's try playing this at full speed. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and again. Section B. A. Great, so that's the whole piece. Well done. So what I'd like you to do is just play through each line nice and slow and try and get the rhythm really strong. Try playing along with the backing tracks and the practice tracks at slower tempos to eventually get up to the 160 beats per minute timing, which is how the backing track is set. Alright, thanks and see you next week.